Alright, so we're going to talk about an idea right now. It's called Introduction to Functions, but it is an idea that you're not going to totally get because you don't know enough to get it yet. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like we are going to be looking at a big picture. But right now, we can only see one part of it. And we're going to take a look at that part, but that part will make a whole lot more sense once we can see the whole picture. So that's what we're going to do with functions. Now, what is a function? There are certain math sentences, you can say, or math equations that have a special, almost like an award is the way I think of it, but they get a special designation that they get to be called functions. Other math things that look like math problems don't get to be functions, for you're going to learn why. And you're not going to learn today. Later on you're going to learn there's something, there are these math problems, and some of them get to be called functions and some don't. Okay, that's the first idea. The second one is that that you can make a graph with points, and a lot of times the data you put in, the points, are X and Y is what the data is called. Sometimes it's called input and output. And sometimes the data is called the domain and the range. And these are all words for the data that you can make into a graph. The X goes across the bottom, the Y goes up. Remember what I showed you in the last video. This is the Y and this is the X on the graph. And we just have different names for the two sources of data. X and Y, domain and range, input, output. Do they have another name that I'm not thinking about? Horizontal and vertical, they said that one. The out and the up and down. The out and the up and down. So there's just different names for it. But the main ones are domain, input, X, range, output, Y. Now, the first thing you're going to learn about functions is that it's only allowed to be a function. Did they teach this to you now? Yes. It's only allowed to be a function if there are no repeats in the input. So if I have 0 and 3, and 1 and 1, and 3 and 1, and 4 and 2 is my data, this data is a function because there are no repeats in the inputs. Now there's a repeat in the output, but that's okay. The input can have no repeats. Now the symbol for a function is this curvy kind of F, and sometimes it has an X in parentheses after it. It's read F of X. But this would be a function because there's no repeats in the input. Let's try another one. Whoop, whoop. It's more fun with sound effects. Okay? So this one, let's find one that has a repeat. Doop, doop, doop. Here's one. 9, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2. Is it a function? No, because it had 9 repeated in the inputs. Now, we were going to learn a whole lot more about functions and what their graphs look like and what's a function and what's not. But that's all we're going to learn for now, is that you cannot have any repeats in the inputs. Inputs are also called domain or the X's. The outputs are also called the Y or the range. And we'll talk more about how to remember that when we actually get to making some graphs. That's all you have to know for now. All right? That's it for chapter 1. Yay! And I will see you guys later. Math is fun.